I'm back with the weekly workout check-in. But first, listen to this.
Most expensive car, V12. I drive a four-cylinder. I'm come from nothing, but I'm doing something, and you cannot catch my drive. As fast as you try to go, you will never catch me, man. There is only one way, and this way I'm driving, nobody
Feeling
can
good.
do it. I'm Birdman. That's why I am. In Paris.
Okay, don't want to get copyright and all that. It's been really good. I've been listening to Her Loss like every day, working out. This week, over the weekend, 21. Can you do some for me? Even did karaoke on Christmas after dinner, and that was the first song that I came out with. Yeah, that was fun. It's such not a good song for that family crowd, but it was just really fun. Words are terrible. Okay, so let's get right into it. We're going to go through the workout. I'm going to tell you some of the things that have improved. I'm going to share with you what I'm thinking about as the holidays progress, because I right now think this is the best workout strategy for me going into the new year with the momentum of having a plan, already executing on it, and having planned for how holidays get. And I'm going to share how it's going for this 4-week cycle that I'm on over the holidays to not get in worse shape and get this dad bod a little bit more shredded for the new year. So come into the new year with some momentum, start my goals early. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm trying not to be super formal about these videos, but last one I did, I got good feedback, and I really appreciate for the 12 of you that watched it. It means a lot. So I'm gonna keep doing it, as I was gonna do anyway, to hold my commitment to all of you to be accountable. So let's start by week 2. Last week I finished week 1. I made the video around the middle, towards the ending of week 1, right? So how did week 2 go? I had 2 days of rest. Obviously, we had Christmas, and then I had Monday also off. So I ended up unintentionally, or intentionally, you could say whatever, taking a 3rd day of rest. So I was extra rested, which is great because I know that holidays were gonna be flexible, family time, all that stuff. Still we're in this in between week between 2022 and 2023. So that's why I think the beauty of this plan is so genius. It's so simple, easy to execute. Sometimes 35, sometimes 38 minutes, but can be done in under 30 minutes if you want to just bang it out. Of course, I'm getting older, so I do want to talk about warming up. That was one thing I didn't really touch on, because when I first approached my workout, I'm like, okay, if I'm trying to cut it in time, how do I approach warming up? Well, warming up for me, the first week was interesting. I would do traditionally a couple of lighter sets. But in this case, again, to be efficient, this week I actually started with doing a little warm up. And so in week 2 on bench, I actually started with 135. So if you notice, that was like second set in week 1. So I ended up warming up with something heavier, like just started right off the bat with that. Of course, this isn't the best. Like I can say, I've had some shoulder pain lately, not necessarily due to lifting. Also, carrying a kid is kind of nuts because this guy loves to be on this side of my body, and that can be interesting because, it definitely strains this side more, my baby, right? So whatever it is, I'm working through it, but I still felt really good just getting into it. Started at 135, went to 155, 175. Didn't really get more than 4 reps of 175, and then I dropped it down to 135, and I finished the other 4 to get the 8. But what's awesome for me, what I'm celebrating the progress here is, I've been trying to add more and more weight, and this is only week 2, so technically this is the the 3rd time I'm benching in 8 days, or within 10 days, let's say, whatever, and I've already climbed up 20 pounds on the bench, more than what I was pushing myself to. So that's one positive that I found with this workout, is that I'm actually pushing myself, because I know it's a limited amount of time. I'm trying to make the most of my effort, and I got some data that I want to get into a little bit about it too, which was interesting to find. The workout from Wednesday or the day two, which was legs, you know, and how intense it actually got. That day took a couple of small walks, and of course worked out. But notice this, 147 beats per minute average heart rate. That's a lot. So it's hitting all of my zones. Just I'm just saying, like, this is pretty cool to see that in just a short workout of 38 minutes off course. A little bit of that was me huffing and puffing, which I actually do want to show you. I mean, this right here is the 225 set that I did, and yeah, I wore the same sweatshirt 2 days in a row. Don't worry, it was not dirty. Well, it was. Fuck it. And this was the set that I did with 245, and like immediately after 175 beats per minute heart rate. Like, that's a lot for me. I weigh 181, 180, 181 right now. Um, Obviously at nighttime, probably right now, if I weighed myself, probably like 183. But what matters is morning weight, and for me, I usually do it post workout weight as well, and then I track it. So like, yeah, after Christmas, it went up just a little bit. I'm like running these experiments on myself right through the holidays and having a plan and sticking to it, but adjusting as we go along. So warming up has been interesting. I haven't been really doing my traditional warming up, but I've been mindful like of if I get injured and shit like that, because that's not what I want. So kind of warmed up with a good working weight, you could say. Form is really important to me in all of these workouts. I'm not trying to swing this way or use bad form or get hurt. That's not, it's not like, but I am trying to push myself as much as I can on everything I'm doing, and I'm pretty proud of the fact that I could get to 175. I'd like to keep climbing, but I at this point do want to have a spot, just because, yeah, I don't want to get hurt and be out of commission. And then rows, I mean, week 2 right here, right? Like, again, started with 135 when that was like the middle set weight the previous week. So that's really interesting to see. And then climbed up on that to 185, felt good. So that's a nice climb. I gave myself a note. This is the other beautiful part about writing to yourself. Back when I was competing and everything, I would have journals that I would actually handwrite. But part of me like breaking the cycle of being so strict, and also like being at dad bod and like different priorities in life. It's a good happy medium to actually like start tracking somewhat into the notes of the phone, and then having that with me week to week, workout to workout, especially if I'm doing multiple days in the week where I'm going to be doing similar body parts or similar exercises. It's really good to remember where you were and adjust. And I've noticed psychologically, like towards the second set of the workouts, so it's a 2-day on, 1 day off, and then 2 days on, and then 2 days off. So in the second set, because it's a full upper body, lower body type of thing, I would feel like, oh, okay, well, I've already done some work earlier this week, so how do I feel? Well, if I come to the rest day and I feel like I'm getting rested, but the next day I'm like, well, can I still push myself? So that's been also interesting to see if like psychologically I'm like saying I'm more tired, so I'm not pushing myself. So it's another thing like tracking wise. But what's really good to see is like coming back from the rest, like in terms of squats, dude, I did 245 when like, week 1 you can see squats was at 215. Now that's a big jump, I would think, for me, because I'm not that big. I'm sitting at 181 right now. I did gain about 1 pound. It's been interesting to see the progression from workout to workout, just in terms of the weight and the mobility of the movements, just kind of repeating them so frequently. And it's not changing it up with so many different exercises. It's like keeping them the same. So like that frequency is creating like I guess I'm getting more comfortable in the movements. So it's kind of like, it's super simple and it's kind of boring, you could say, the workout, but because it's short and sweet, I'm still pushing through it and I'm feeling really good through it, which is why I feel like having that rest day in the middle is actually making me feel very good about, getting time to do other things, hang out with my kid more, do stuff. Like, we went out a whole bunch. Today was a rest day, by the way. So it was cool because the rest day like led to me having more time outside and ended up walking a whole lot. So almost, you know, almost 4.4 miles of walking on the beach, and that was just fucking lovely. You can see that, you know, it's beautiful outside. Just waves were nuts, and I was really really glad, really glad that I got to spend the extra time with my family. You know, going to the beach to walk yesterday for like 3 4 hours, today for like 2 hours, and then ate a burrito because I felt like we earned it today. But here's the thing: so I haven't been sticking 100% to my nutrition plan that I've shared with you guys, and I shared last week that that was a guide, but I'm adjusting based on what I'm gonna eat, you know, and it's relatively clean. And still, at the end of the day, if I'm not getting the results I want, then that's what I have to adjust. But right now, looking pretty good, feeling good, still losing weight. The data showing it's going in the right trend. Um, California burrito, best thing in the world. Split that with Mimi after our walk, walking almost 5 miles. I think we earned that shit today. So rest day, success. But then, like, to counter that, I'm not eating any carbs anymore the rest of the day. And in the morning, I had a really good breakfast, little sandwich that Mimi made for me. And then this was breakfast yesterday in La Jolla. Some eggs Benedict. I did not eat all those potatoes. Mimi and the baby liked them, so that was cool. But bro, this lamb racks Mimi made, you know, from scratch, seasoned, beautifully done, just so tasty. I had about 3 or 4 of those. Gonna have some more of those in a bit. But this is a great way for me to keep having my protein intake in, and this is one of the ways that I'm adjusting the diet. I'm actually eating a little bit less, and I'm adding a little bit more of the junk that I like to eat just a little bit. This is a fresh shot of your boy at 7:06 p.m. today, and yeah, you know, photos always are hard, not don't fully do it justice, but I've been feeling really good. Definitely gained a little bit of weight over Christmas because obviously, you know, ate and had a little bit of drink, but because of the extra cardio that was not part of the actual workout regimen routine is helping me balance out the extra calories, and also, you know, staying very mindful of what I'm still eating has been very helpful to keep me going on my track of goals. I do want to talk about a couple of learnings from the workout, like during the leg day, leg curl wise. So last week, you know, if you're using the same machine, I need to know where I started. It turns out that I didn't adjust the angle because I did warm up in here. I did leg curls and some lunges to warm up. And when I was doing this, the first set was kind of wasted because I went kind of heavy. I started at 145, but the machine wasn't set at the proper level, so the range of motion wasn't great. I think I overstretched at one point because, like, you know, girls get into these machines and they're like super flexible, and like my shit's like a little bit tighter, a little bit meatier. So I need to set the machine at the right level. So that was one reminder to myself, not taking it for granted and always checking the machine every time. Even though I warmed up on it earlier, I came back and it was changed and I didn't recognize. I didn't check. So, you know, interesting stuff. So how would I make this workout better? Is kind of another thing I've been thinking about is obviously I put these alternative exercise, which I think is fucking great. So you can add those workouts that are alternatives as additional exercises too, and you can do a little bit more volume. And I think that's how you can make the workout a little bit harder. And then I think mixing it up with, like, okay, we're gonna do bench press, that's barbell, then you do it with dumbbell. I would do incline, or um, you know, add in flies or even hammer strength. So many options. It's just, I think sticking to the really basic has been really really revealing. But I've been thinking about how I would make this workout better, and that's, I think, how it's gonna end up progressing anyway. And I will just finish this by saying the meal plan has been flexible, but the goals are still being met. And I'm excited for the couple of days left in the new year. A couple last thoughts. I'm really looking forward to how things unfold with my focus statement, which is grit. So part of just doing this, even if I'm doing it poorly, and if it's not entertaining, and if like the two of you watch it, it's all good. I feel really good about just getting it done and not judging myself for not doing it perfectly, because that's one of the things that making content that brings out a lot of my insecurity. And we do a lot of good quality content, even though, you may not think so. It's a lot of fucking work that I put into this shit. But at times like this, I like to just kind of use it to just do it very chill way. So yeah, hope you enjoy this. See you next time, and make sure you subscribe to this channel, because I'm putting out more stuff.